everybody, it's Dana Sullivan, the Stampin' Chick, here with another Make It Monday. How are you today, my friends? I hope you had a fabulous weekend. It is Monday, February 22nd. Holy mackerel, this month is gone. I don't understand why it's going so fast. Wow. Well, okay, so there's a lot to be said about this because it is the last Monday of the month, which means that this project is also part of the Stampers Showcase blog hop. So you're going to want to make sure and visit my blog so that you can get all of the details and hop around on the Stampers Showcase blog hop because you're not going to want to miss any of those amazing projects. So let me just see if I can get some comments coming up here. And hold on just a second. Let me see if I can see things. If not, you know, sometimes Facebook doesn't let me see the comments on my video here. So if I don't reply to you or don't address you, then don't think that I'm ignoring you. It's because I'm not seeing your messages. So okay. With that in mind, as I was saying, it's the end of February, and that means that celebration is almost over. And that's awful. I'm so sad. Celebration was only 2 months this time instead of 3 months. So we've lost a little bit of celebrating time. However, there are still 6 days left. So I'm going to be showing you this project using a touch of ink, which is a celebration stamp set. And then I'm also going to be going live every day this week, hopefully, knock on wood. And I'm going to be showing you a new celebration-related project each of those days. And I'm hoping to inspire you to place an order and get those celebration items for free and make fabulous projects with me. So I'm doing this one last week of pushing for celebration because I don't want anybody to miss out. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you guys hang out with me. And I've been visiting with my daughter, who some of you know helps me out with my business stuff and marketing and whatnot. And she's joined my Facebook group, and we've been discussing some fun activities that we're going to start doing on the Facebook group page. So if you're not already in the Stampin' Chicks group, make sure that you click to join. You should be able to see it over on my groups tab there, or wherever you're seeing it on Facebook. And join the group because we're going to be doing all sorts of fun things over there, and you're only going to be able to see them there. So you definitely want to get in the group. And if you're going to be seeing this on the replay later on, the live button up in the corner will be gone. And I'm going to upload this also to my YouTube channel. So if you're watching this on the YouTube replay, you'll want to go over to the Stampin' Chicks group on Facebook and request to join there. All right, guys, so this evening we are playing with the Touch of Ink stamp set. I love this stamp set for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's two-step stamping, which means you've got the outline stamp and the shadowing stamp. And then I also love the sentiments. They're so soft and beautiful, and I absolutely love them. So let's get started with what we're going to need. I'm actually using a handful of inks tonight, so I'll go over those with you as well. Okay, so we have a piece of Night of Navy cardstock. that measures 8.5 by 5.5. It's scored at 4 1/4, which, as you know, is a standard card base. I also have 2 pieces of basic white cardstock that measure 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. One of them is for the front and the other is for the inside. I have a piece of Night of Navy cardstock that I have die cut with the largest scalloped layering oval. And then a piece of basic white cardstock that I have die cut with the largest stitched oval from the Stitched Shapes dies. And then I have 2 strips of Oh So Ombre Designer Series paper, which is also a free celebration item. That paper is absolutely beautiful, and I know I've shown it to you before, and you've probably seen it all over the internet because everyone loves this paper. But I'm going to show it to you again. So you see some of the paper is this really pretty ombre, and some of it is ombre with the little circles on it. And it's just absolutely beautiful paper. I am in love with this paper. It's gorgeous paper. All right, and so we're using 2 strips that are 5.5 inches long. This one is 1/2 inch wide, and this one is 1/4 inch wide. So obviously you'll be able to get quite a bit out of one sheet. And then we're going to use a scrap piece of basic white cardstock so that we can stamp and cut out that beautiful bird. So I'm going to show you how I did this because it's a lot of fun, and I think you guys are going to love it. So let's get started. Aside from the paper supplies, I'm also going to be using the crinkled seam binding ribbon. I love this. It's really light and fluffy, and it makes really pretty bows. So we're going to use that. And then I told you I have a handful of inks that I'm going to be using this evening. So as you can see here, I have quite the stack. We're using Rococo Rose for the flower. I've got Night of Navy, Shaded Spruce, Granny Apple Green, and Balmy Blue. And these are the colors I'm using for the bird. And, you know, you guys are going to love this. It's one of the wonderful things about two-step stamping, and also this one in particular, several of our two-step stamps now have the distinctive stamping, which means if you see the picture, it's got shading and highlighting all in the same stamp. So that means when I stamp it one time, I get all of this pretty shading and highlighting all at once. So it makes it really, really nice. Okay, so let's start by stamping our bird. I'm going to also be using some tuxedo black. I'm going to use that for the sentiments as well as the outlines. So let me just ink up the bird first. And I like to do this, especially if I'm using Stampin' blends. You want to stamp it first and let it sit for a minute. We're not going to be using Stampin' blends, so you don't really need to do it with our regular dye inks. But I've gotten in the habit of just stamping the outlines first and setting them aside for a second. So while I've got the black ink out, I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to bring in that oval and my scrap paper here because I'm going to stamp the flower outline. And we're just going to stamp it right here on the side. Give it a nice little frame to the shape there. All right. And then I'll stamp Hello Friend right here. There we go. Okay, and then I can close this up because I'm done with the black for now. Now I have already stamped my inside piece. Oh, that did a weird thing, didn't it? I've already stamped the inside piece and stamped the color in it. So I'll go ahead and stamp the color on the oval piece here now. That took me a second to open. Alright, so with distinctive stamping, you want to make sure that you're just lightly tapping, not smushing, not rocking and rolling and all that good stuff. And we're going to layer this over our image. Now this is more of an artsy design, so the shadowing doesn't fit perfectly inside the lines. So don't try to line it up perfectly. Just line it up approximately. Okay, so you'll see what I mean here in just a second. Alright, so you see how it's outside of the lines in various places, and that's because it's just a generalized artsy filling in, so to speak. Alright, now that I've got those done, I want to bring this piece back. Let me set these out of the way here. And let me bring back my little pierce mat. You know that you want to use the pierce mat always when you're using photopolymer stamps, and especially when you're using distinctive photopolymer stamps, because it really needs that extra cushion. Okay, for this step, we're going to be coloring in all of those beautiful colors on our little bird. So let me show you how I did that. I brought each of these 4 colors in, and I'm just going to open them up right here in front of me. Alright, I've got Night of Navy, Shaded Spruce, Granny Apple Green, and Balmy Blue. Now, I'm going to use the daubers and apply the color directly to the stamp using the daubers. Alright, so the same as with stamping, I'm just going to tap, and then I'm going to daub it on where I want the color to go, directly onto the stamp. And in this case, I'm putting some Night of Navy along the tail and then guiding it up the edge of his wings. And then I'm taking the Shaded Spruce and I'm coloring down his wings. And when I get to the spot where I've already put the navy, I'm going to just carefully blend right at the edge of where the navy stops so that the 2 colors blend together well. Alright? And then I'll do that same technique for all of the rest of the colors. So I'm taking the Granny Apple Green and I'm going along where his head will be, and I'm just blending the color into the Shaded Spruce. Now I'm going to take the Balmy Blue and fill in the belly and just fade the color up so that it all has a nice soft blended look to it. There we go. Alright, now you want to huff on your inked up stamp. Be very dramatic about it. And then just like the flower, this one covers mostly, but it's not exact. So you just want to line it up best you can. And then when you take it off, it has all of that beautiful color all blended together and fabulous. Alright, now these stamps don't have dies that coordinate, so we'll have to fussy cut around this with our scissors, and of course through the magic of television, voila, I have an extra one here. Alright, let's go ahead and close these ink pads, because you know if I don't, then I will be putting my hands, my sleeves, my papers, my everything else into them. So I don't know if I'm the only one who does that or not, but it's an awful thing, and I know this about me, so. Okay, now let's bring our pieces back over. All right. Now, I have one last thing I want to stamp here, and then I'll be done with my stamping. On the inside of my card, I'm doing thank you. So I need to get some thank you cards made. And this month's theme for the Stamper Showcase was all about thanks and gratitude. So I've got thank you so much stamped on the inside. So let me bring over that basic black or that tuxedo black ink one more time. Tap, 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 not smush, smush, smush. And we're going to say thank you so much right there. There we go. Okay, now this piece is going to go inside our card. Here we go. Just like that. Okay, and then on the outside, we're going to put down our piece of basic white cardstock first. And it's so weird attaching just a plain piece of basic white. Normally it's got some stamping to it or something, but this time it's all about the layers. Alright, so now we've got that done. Now I'm going to take my liquid glue for these strips because they're a little bit smaller and I don't want to fuss with the Stampin' Seal. So I'm just going to take my liquid glue and give it some swizzles all the way down. And then this is going to line up edge to edge of the card base, not the white piece. So you want to make sure that you're lining it up with the edge of the card. Here we go. And I love that you have just a split second to think about your decision before you commit to it. So that helps, especially when you get it just a little bit crooked. There we go. All right. And then let's do this last little strip here. You certainly couldn't do that with the Stampin' Seal. The Stampin' Seal, you have to be firm in your convictions and just nail it down. All right. Sticking my fingers in it was not in the plan. Here we go. And now we're just going to put this, just the slightest little edge, you know, just past it. This is not an exact science here, friends. This is just a, hey, give it a little breathing room and lay it down. So there we go. And I'm going to make sure that I'm facing it so that I can make sure it's straight. There we are. Okay. Now, I don't know if that is ink or if that is glue, because occasionally liquid glue gets everywhere, and that is where this handy dandy little gadget comes into play. And if it doesn't come off, it so doesn't matter because we're going to be covering it up anyways with that die cut. Alright, so now we're going to layer these two together, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. I always make sure that I remember I'm not putting more than 2 layers of dimensionals on an entire project if it's going in the mail. So because I'm going to be putting the little bird on dimensionals, and I know that I'm going to put the whole oval piece with dimensionals, I'm just going to glue this piece to this piece directly with Stampin' Seal. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind when you're shipping off a card, unless you want to pay for extra postage, which of course you can do. In order to use regular postage in a regular envelope, 2 layers of dimensionals is your limit. Okay. Alright, so let's put some dimensionals on the back of this piece now. There we go. I am absolutely loving this Touch of Ink stamp set. It's so pretty. And I've seen some absolutely gorgeous projects with it. Alright, now we're doing a little bit of symmetry lesson here. If we put this in the center and then put our hummingbird on there, it would actually make the oval look off-centered. So instead, we're going to offset the oval just slightly so that it's overlapping our little strips here. And then when we put the hummingbird on, it's like magic. It straightens it all up. All right. Here we go. And then we're just going to make it look like he's dipping in right there. And there we go. Alright, now the last thing we have to do is to get some of our little clear rhinestones. And let's see, I want to put one in the flower. Right there. And I'll put one here. And I'll put one up here. There we go. And then get the ribbon. Whoops, I'm getting bling attacked. There we go. Alright. Let's tie a little bow. And then we shall be finished. Alright, so I have to know how many of you have taken advantage of Celebration so far, with it being almost over with. Have you got everything that you wanted from the Celebration brochure? I hope that you have. Of course, if you haven't, you know you can visit my website at danasullivan.stampinup.net and put your order in. $50 or more, for every $50 I should say, will get you a free Celebration item. And there are a couple of items like the Touch of Ink stamp set and stamp and paper bundle that are free with a $100 purchase, but the stamp set is really big. It's got a lot of beautiful stamps on it. And then also, for every $50 that you purchase from me until the end of February, until the end of Celebration, you will be able to get an entry into the drawing for the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So that's something awesome to look forward to. Let's see. I need to move that just a little bit, so I'm going to put it right there. So if you'd like to order anything, just visit my website and check out the Celebration items and get in on that before it's gone. The 28th is the last day. Alright friends, that is today's card. Now I want to share with you another one that I will be posting on my blog tomorrow, and I will give you the link. I will give you the measurements for this project on there. So you'll want to check it out tomorrow. But I made another card using the same basic supplies. But this one is a fancy fold card. So it opens up and it has the thank you so much here. And then the butterfly I did the same way as I did the hummingbird, which is so cute and it's so much fun. I love it. And with this one you get to see a bit more of that designer series paper. And then I use the painted texture embossing folder for the background here. It is such a pretty embossing folder. I absolutely love it. So let me see. I do see that there are some comments come in, so let's see. Elaine says she has this set but hasn't played with it yet, and she's got the donkeys too. Oh, the donkeys are super cute. Everyone's loving the card. Thank you so much. Miss Elaine, you're welcome for the postage tip. Hey, Miss Lisa, how are you, darling? And Luann, hello. Thank you. Miss Sharon. Oh, thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me this evening. So I'm thinking that Monday evenings at 7 p.m. are probably going to be my regular Facebook Live times. It seems to work out for most people. And this week I mentioned that I'm going to be going live or trying to go live every single day, at least every weekday this week, on my YouTube channel, which if you search the Stampin' Chick Dana Sullivan, you'll find me there. And I'm going to try 6:30 p.m. tomorrow and see how that works. But I may go back to 7 for the rest of the week, but I will let everybody know. I'll let everybody know tomorrow evening if I need to change it to 7. Elaine says, would the blue and green card be regular postage? You know what, Elaine? This one probably will not be regular postage. I did just put dimension on the bird and no dimension on this, but I would consider that 3 layers easily. Maybe even 4 layers in the scheme of things. It's considerably more than 1/4 of an inch. So I would say that you would probably have to put hand cancel on this one, which means that you'd have to pay, I think it's an extra 20 cents or an extra 25 cents. I can't recall exactly. Postage rates changed again not too long ago, so I don't think that I've sent a bulk postage one since then. So, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that you would have to send more postage. Basically, if it fits within 1/4 of an inch space, so if you look right there, if it fits within 1/4 of an inch space, included with the envelope and everything, then it's good for 1 envelope or 1 postage stamp. But if it's more than that, then it would be more postage. So yeah, I would say it probably is. All right, so I hope that you guys will join me for my YouTube live tomorrow evening at 6:30. I will have another project to share with you and another celebration item to show off. And remember that if you haven't ordered yet, or if there's anything that you need to order, please feel free to visit my website, danasullivan.stampinup.net. I'm so close to my sales goal for celebration, and I'm really excited to be able to give that mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss away. And so I'll be talking to you guys a little bit more tomorrow about celebration and about the Stampin' Chicks group on Facebook. So if you're not already in my group, head over there and request to join. There's a question on there, not really a question, but just a little thing for you to agree to that says that, you know, if you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator or anything, then obviously you're not going to be selling on my page. But anyway, just read the little deal there. It says you're not going to share links or try to sell in there, and type agreed or okay or I understand or whatever, and we'll get you in. And you'll be in there and ready to take part in all the cool fun stuff that's going to be coming up. So, yay! I'm super excited about it. We spent a little bit of time talking about some fun things and some revamping of how I do things currently to try to streamline everything and get me a good routine in order, because sometimes I kind of feel like I'm flying all over the place. So anyway, I'm sure you guys know how that feels sometimes, but you know, it's nice to regroup and reorganize. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and I hope that you guys are going to enjoy it. So anyway, I think it'll be great. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and get off here and let you go for this evening, and I hope to see you all on my YouTube channel tomorrow evening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have any questions, please let me know. Don't forget to head over to my blog, stampinchicktn.blogspot.com, so that you can see the Stamper Showcase blog hop, because it is absolutely fabulous. Let me tell you about the designers in the Stamper Showcase. First of all, they are all hand-picked individuals by me. Every single one of them are absolutely amazing designers. Their projects are always gorgeous. Their blogs are fabulous. And they all work so well together. This is really and truly just an amazing blog hop. So I'm not sure if there's, 16 or 17 of us hopping this month. So there's a lot to see, and they're all related to thanks and gratitude. So there's a lot of really nice stuff to see there. So check it out, and let them know that I sent you, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.